Hello. In today's video, we will examine the procedure parameters. To do this, we'll modify the SQL procedure we created in the previous video and add parameters together. As always, let's first review our example. Let's open the sales budget application that we created earlier and load our data. If you remember, in the procedure we created in the previous video, we defined the category field as a field. Therefore, we were able to send whichever category was in the context of the selected cell for approval. However, as a planner, I might want to select multiple categories, like textiles, accessories, and others, and send them for approval simultaneously. This is where procedure parameters come into play. Now, let's remove the category from the field in our procedure and make it a procedure parameter together. I'll cancel this. Close the application. And from the QuickApp tab, open the Edit Applications workspace. When we go to Procedures, we see that we previously created a request approval procedure and wrote an SQL statement in its body. In this video, I'll also show you how to convert this SQL statement into a stored procedure in SQL. Let's take a look at the stored procedure I've prepared earlier. Yes, I created a procedure called SP Approve Plan in the Product Plan schema. And for this procedure, I added parameters like Sales Channel ID, Sales Season ID, Brand ID, and Category IDs, which is of type, and varchar max, because users can select multiple categories. I also added from plan status and to plan status parameters. This way, I designed the procedure so that the planner can send it for approval, and the manager can approve the pending approval plans. At the beginning of the procedure, I added set NoCount on to prevent unwanted messages like an rows affected. As always, I included begin try, and begin catch, and catch blocks. I also wrote a code block to return the error number and error message if an error occurs. Similarly, if there's no error, I wrote a code block that returns an error number of 0. Notice that this part is actually the same as the previous version of the procedure. The only difference is that now it's in SQL stored procedure, and I've linked it to the parameters. So, let's look at which records I'll delete from the sales plan table in the product plan schema. I split the category IDs, using the existing split function, and match them with the category ID. Then, I deleted the records where plan status ID is equal to plan status, and where sales channel, sales season, and brand fields match the given parameters. After that, I took the records from plan status and inserted them into the product plan.salesplan table as to plan status. You can create the same code in your own Blue Earth database. Now, before writing our procedure body, let's add a parameter to our request approval procedure. I go to the Procedure Parameters tab and load my data. As you can see, there are no parameters for the request approval procedure yet. We'll create a parameter using the wizard, allowing users to select categories. When we look at our pools, we see that our previously created product hierarchy pool is available. We reviewed the data from our product hierarchy pool. From here, I drag the category ID into the DB field name field, and the category name into the display field name field. I named the parameter category. When I click OK, a parameter named category is created for the request approval procedure. I changed the parameter type to list multi, because there should be multiple selection options. Yes, the parameter is now named category. I return to the procedure. This time, instead of writing the procedure body in a lengthy manner, I'll write it to call the stored procedure we prepared earlier. I paste the code I prepared here. So, It calls the SP Approve Plan procedure in the Product Plan schema, and maps the Sales Channel parameter to the Sales Channel field, the Sales Season parameter to the Sales Season field, the Brand parameter to the Brand field, and the Category IDs to the Category parameter. Notice that parameters are notated with the $, and I write it within single quotes, because I know that Category IDs is of type in varchar max, and the values selected by the user are sent as comma-separated text, so I need to send them within single quotes. Since this is the procedure that the planner will use to send for approval, I set the From Plan Status value to 1, meaning Working Plan, and the To Plan Status value to 2, meaning Pending Approval. When I click OK, we have now linked our procedure to the parameter. Let's test it right away. I open the Sales Budget application and load our data. Yes, for example, the current total sales quantity for textiles, accessories, and other categories is 15,500. I revise it to 17,000 and click the Request Approval button. First, it asks if I want to save any changes if there are any. I click Yes. Now, as you can see, a field has opened for us where we can select categories under the name category. Since the type is List Multi, it shows me my existing categories, and I select both textiles and accessories together to send for approval. The fields we linked and used in the procedure body are also displayed here according to the context. Okay, let's click Execute. We receive a message that the procedure was successful. Let's go back to our pending approval data. Let's check it out. Yes, as you can see, it has become 17,000 in pending approval. Yes, in this way, we can add various parameters to our procedures that allow interaction with the user as we like. You can also use parameters extensively in the procedures you write. See you in the next video. Take care.